Hey, what's going on, everyone? Justin again. As always, welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Today I got an interesting topic for you, but I'm going to discuss it when we get back to the house. Time to hang the hat up and get the hell out of here. How you like my new haircut? What is going on? What is going on? It's Beer 30, and boy, do I have a story for you. Tonight, our discussion topic is going to be, it all evens out, okay? Because I noticed this more since I've been at the independent shop than I ever did at the dealer. But when I was at the dealer, there was no such thing as staying late or really coming in early unless you were planning on leaving early, and they hated paying overtime, so overtime wasn't a thing either. Now that equated to was, so long as, I guess there was a loophole, so long as it was under an hour of time over, you don't get paid overtime. Okay, that just goes into your regular hours, if you will. Now at the independent shop, we also don't do the overtime thing. And like I said, being at the independent shop, lot different than being over at the dealership, because it's more of a family environment. Okay, you're so close to these guys and gals, if you work with gals, that they're all family, brothers, sisters. Some might even be old enough that you look up to them almost like a father figure or an elder brother or something like that. But at any rate, everyone is on the same exact page as far as we need to do what we need to do in order to produce hours. So whether that means you have to come in a little bit early, whether that means you have to stay a little bit late, whether that means you have to do what's called a working lunch, where you get some food, maybe the shop owner or manager decides to buy food for the shop, everyone just kind of eats, and then when they're done eating, they casually go back to work. There's not one designated set time that you actually take for your lunch during these working lunches, and maybe, even just maybe, you might devote one weekend or at least one day out of the weekend to try to catch back up, whether it's on inventory, car project that you guys had going on the side, or maybe it's just trying to get caught up on one of the cars that you were struggling with towards the end of the week. Because it's not you that's losing out, it's the entire shop, okay? And the person that eats it the most is usually the shop owner, okay? Because he can't predict what POS comes in or what kind of issues that you're gonna run into as the mechanic or technician, or how long it's gonna take you. Maybe it's only supposed to be a 2-hour job and you're in it for 8 hours because you ran into some broken bolts, you had to extract something, maybe you had to use a torch, maybe you had to weld something in place, maybe they got it waiting for a component that's gonna take a few days. Whatever the case may be, you're still losing time. And if it's a major repair, like a heavy line project where you're pulling out a transmission or you're pulling out an engine, you're down a bay. Okay, now you can't even really do much with that bay, so long as unless you wanted to like tow it out and park it and then roll it back in and reset everything the next day for when the component gets there. So outside of that, yeah, you're pretty much stuck down one lift, right? So nobody eats it more than the shop owner, and one of those situations kind of happened to me earlier today. I had a vehicle come in, and yeah, fault of my own, okay? Maybe got a little bit complacent. On this particular vehicle, they came in for an oil change. We do thorough inspections, right, of the whole thing. Kind of talked about that with you guys in a previous video of what it is that we're actually looking for and what it is that we're inspecting when the vehicle comes in. Well, I had overlooked one complete side of the brake pad, okay? So I stared in, I saw a 6mm. Usually when the vehicle's up in the air, I try my best to remember, look up and look at the inner pad. On this particular situation, I must not have done that because the vehicle came in, like I said, less than a month later, complaining of a grinding sound like a metal on metal, and turned out the inside pad was metal to metal, and there was still 6mm left on that outside pad. So, you know, I felt bad about missing that and not catching it when it came in. And the shop had to eat it, basically. It was our fault. We didn't catch it when it was in. It was a good customer. So the boss is just gonna take care of the brake pads and we're gonna turn rotors free. Okay, that's what it does. You're still there, you know, I guess with your hourly if you look at it like that, but the shop's eating the labor time and the parts and whatever else in order to save a customer because I overlooked something. These things happen. I'm still human, okay? I make errors. Human error is pretty much present all the time, whether you're working in the mechanical field or even in the construction or even in a desk job, okay? And human error is always present. You're gonna make a mistake. You're gonna overlook something from time to time. You hope that it's nothing so critical that it's gonna cause somebody else harm. In this case, this might have actually caused them harm. Luckily, they came in when it started making the noise and we're taking care of it. So it's one of those things. As a result, there was another customer that did come in for an oil change and I did catch the fact that it needed brakes. So we started doing brakes and now we had 2 lathes going, trying to cut brakes, and we ended up coming into a crunch time, and I ended up extending my time at the shop by about a half an hour, a little over a half an hour, to make sure that the job got done so the customer can have their vehicle back today. It's not the first time that I've had to stay late. I know it's not gonna be the last time, and I've had to go in early for certain jobs or trying to get just a little bit ahead, and you know, being a little bit short-staffed can also make it to where you got to pick up the pace a little bit too. I'm slowly trying to get into my groove. I'm trying to get my groove back. It has been quite the circus ride, if you will, because of all the recent rust buckets that have been coming in and these POSs that, frankly, I don't think they belong on the road. I believe that they need to go to the wrecking yard. I don't know how many times in the last 3 months that I've seen just total after total after total. We have a couple of customers actually where they only buy wrecked vehicles and they drive them as A to Bs until they're no longer A to Bs and the engine or transmission go, then they get their couple of bucks from the wrecking yard and they go buy another one that looks like it was all smashed in. No joke. But before we wrap up tonight's video, let me give you the tech tip of the day. So do not use a cordless impact or air pneumatic gun when you're trying to remove the security key lug nuts, okay? What's best to do with these is you put the little security key socket on and you either crack them loose while it's on the ground and you have the whole load of the vehicle on the ground, and then you can run it all the way out. Or you can set the e-brake, and if you can't quite reach, you can use your ratchet, set the e-brake, go into the back, and then crack it loose with your 1/2-inch breaker bar or ratchet to free it up, okay? Do wear safety glasses. I made a mistake. This is one of the things that I'm terrible with, and I'll be the first to admit it. When I'm underneath the car, it is extremely difficult to see, especially when your lenses keep getting scratched up and you're having to go buy them all the dang time. I'm terrible about it. But I try my best to remember to put them on. And you know what reminds me to put them on? It's when crap falls in my eye and I have to run to the eye wash station and rinse my eyes out or wipe my eyes out. Then I put them on, but then lo and behold, the next vehicle, right? So do wear safety glasses. Another thing that I oftentimes forget until my head is so freaking rattled from hearing Shane's air hammer, and I'll show you a picture of mine up here just as an example. Ear protection. You got to wear ear protection. I know it seems so self-explanatory, guys, but I myself am terrible about putting ear protection on until either I A, get annoyed with it, or B, my head's so rattled that's all I can still hear for the next like half an hour. So do wear safety protection. Eyes, ears, and last but not least, gloves. Gloves are also very important. When you're using, like even in this picture here, if you're using brake cleaner, okay, or you're in the solvent tank with mineral spirits, and you got cuts and open wounds and stuff, or you're messing around with oil and transmission fluid, yeah, I get it, guys. No one's greasier than I, okay? I'm a really greasy dude. If I'm getting ready to get down on a major heavy line project, Gloves come off. As soon as fluids are done, gloves come off, and let's do it. Let's get greasy. But when it comes to solvents and things like that, I do try to protect my hands because they crack, they split, they hurt. You know, it happens over time, especially if you're doing it for years and years on end. That's all I got for this video, guys. Look, I hope you enjoyed today's content. If you did, please smash the thumbs up, share if you want to share, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers and deuces.